So in this video, we'll just take a quick look at these adapters from ORICO, however you want to pronounce that. These will adapt any 2.5-inch hard drive to a 3.5-inch hard drive. This adapter will also adapt the SATA plugs on the back, so it will be exactly the same size as a regular 3.5-inch hard drive. Because if you have a case like me, I have a Johnsbo N3 case, which you can see here inside the case in this backplane. It only houses 3.5-inch hard drives, and there's no adapters included with this case. And a lot of 2.5 to 3.5-inch adapters don't adapt in the right way, so that a quick release system that this case has also works with the backplate, because you can see the plugs are already in there in the backplate. Most of these cheaper adapters will just adapt it so it will fit inside a standard ATX case and so on, but not specifically so the plug will be exactly the same place, and also the form factor of the 2.5-inch drive will be the same as a 3.5-inch. So for instance, adapters like these, just normal generic adapters that also can adapt 2.5-inch to a 3.5-inch, but this is only for the screw holes themselves. So you can screw it in place inside a case. If you just have a loose SATA cable, it's not really an issue. Of course, SATA and power cable, you can just plug them in. But like I said, in a case like this, where you have these quick release systems, the cable placement on the back have to be exact, so you can just slide them into position. And none of these kind of adapters will do that. So this is one of the solutions, getting a proper adapter that can adapt it to the exact same sizing and plug placement as a 3.5-inch hard drive. And ORICO did have one of the cheaper options out there. I actually bought 16 of this, so I can have 2.5-inch SSDs inside of my two Johnsbo N3 cases. And I got all of them off of AliExpress. They were fairly inexpensive, and also if you buy more of them, you can actually save a little bit more. So I get 5% further off discount, and they were shipped to me relatively quickly. On the image, at first glance, it does kind of look like it's made of aluminium, but unfortunately it is just plastic. It also says so in the description, but my first impression was, whoa, nice aluminium, because if you want to put an SSD in here, it can also act a little bit as a cooling system. But yeah, it doesn't really do so. But it has exactly the same screw holes and dimensions and plug placement, and that is definitely what I want here. Let's just take a look at one of these. I bought 16 of them, and when I picked up the package, it was just rattling all over the place, because there is screws included as well. But some of the screws have actually come loose, or the little bag inside broke. I'm not sure really if this is one of those. Yeah, you can see there the screws starting to come out, and it was just rattling away in there. So multiple of these packages did so. So I was kind of fearing there was some permanent damage. There's not really any damage to the outside box. So if you pick up your package and it's rattling, it's probably just the screws that have come loose inside this packaging. But yeah, what you get is of course all the screws you need to assemble this in a little bag that has a tendency to break. You get the adapter yourself, and yeah, like I said, made all of plastic, pretty well constructed, but would have been nice if it was aluminium. And then of course you get a user manual, because this is so hard to actually use. You need instructions to use it. And we do have Chinese in one side here, and the other side we do also have English. And yeah, there's not really all that much to say about this. It's made of ABS plastic, and it supports both SATA 1, SATA 2 and SATA 3. And of course you can use regular hard drives and also SATA SSDs. Does have a lot of holes for ventilations, I guess. Pretty easy installment. There's just 4 screws underneath you have to screw in place that are also included here. So yeah, actually quite a comprehensive instructions for just such a little adapter here. So let's just have a look at all the screws we get included. So we do get 6 of these bigger screws to screw it inside a case. So these are just standard hard drive screws. And then we get 4 of these recessed screws, of course, to screw in the 2.5-inch hard drive. So you do not get any extra screws, you just get what you need. And that is also fine enough, I think, for price of this adapter here. Then of course we have the adapter itself, nicely ORICO branded here. Plastic all the way around. Does have some flex to it, but again, not really anything to be concerned about. We do have brass inserts into this plastic. And yeah, I guess these will hold up just fine, but just don't put too much force on them. For instance, if you have it mounted only in one side, it can actually maybe start to come loose. I would probably steer away from that and be sure you mount it in a case or in a rack where you can actually screw it in both sides. But yeah, we have the 3 holes on the side here, like a regular 3.5-inch hard drive, and we also have 4 holes here, or screw holes in the bottom side. Then we have the back plate here, or back connector, that is already screwed in place, so it will fit perfectly inside a case like the Jonsbo M3. See here, back side here, just slide it in. And of course we do have the plug here as well to plug in the 2.5-inch hard drive. I'm not really sure what all of these grooves here are designed to do. Probably add a little bit of rigidity to the actual frame, but other than that, I'm not really sure it will help with like airflow or air being sucked through the adapter. And also we have some grooves here on the back. I believe it's just for rigidity. So all in all, I would say this is definitely well constructed. Should hold up just fine. With time, of course, it will also be heated up. When you attach the hard drive, of course, the hard drive will add some heat. And also if you have them sitting in the multiple rows there, it will also generate a little heat from the hard drives you have right next to it. So only time really will tell how well it will actually withstand in those conditions. It is made of ABS, but I could suspect maybe it will flex a little bit with time, but I don't really think it is a major concern unless you are running your hard drives very hot. Let's just try and plug in a hard drive. This is just a standard 2.5-inch hard drive. That's what I had on hand right now. So you can see it fits perfectly inside here, and you just squeeze it in place like so. And now, of course, you can just attach the 4 screws underneath. See that the screw holes actually align perfectly. So yeah, definitely well made. Let's just mount the 2 top screws here, because I'm not gonna leave this drive in here permanently, just for testing purposes. And now you have a 2.5-inch hard drive that will fit inside a 3.5-inch quick release bay. So of course you have to screw the proper adapters on here. You can see here inside the case, it is actually fitting perfectly inside of the SATA plug and also the screw holes. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you can see the screw hole there is just aligning perfectly inside of this caddy. So it shouldn't really be an issue, or it should work perfectly, as well as it being attached to the back plane here. So that's definitely a way to do it. If you want to run 2.5-inch hard drives in a case that's not really designed to do so, and still keeping the original form factor of a 3.5-inch hard drive. It is wobbling a little bit on the table, so it's not completely flat, but I don't think really it would be an issue. So definitely I am happy with these purchases. Very inexpensive, fast shipping, and will solve a problem that probably should have been solved by the case manufacturer. They should have included adapters like this or make a proper tray, but yeah, the Jonsbo M3 case is the best for my particular setup, so I will just have to live with its shortcomings. And if you want to remove the drive again, of course, just unscrew it from behind and slide it in the opposite direction, like so, and there's room enough to get a finger down here to remove the drive again. So definitely very easy to get in and out of this caddy. But that's just been an unboxing and first look at this ORICO 2.5 to 3.5-inch hard drive adapter. If you're interested in this adapter, of course I can share some affiliate link down in the description below. But that's pretty much all I have for this video. Until next time, take care.